Thank you for being here today, Mr. Lopez. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how did EndoDynamic get here?
Thank you for inviting me, Tommy. I'm a real estate developer. I've done construction, ran mining and minerals companies, and now we are vested in this agriculture world. And EndoDynamic was created in order to simplify what is a really challenging, difficult industry. There's so many challenges that can come about, and we wanted to create and did create the AG3, which brings and teaches how to grow organically and to do it economically with minimal waste and exponentially higher grade produce. And that hopefully answers your question.
Yes, thank you for that. So EndoDynamic claims that this technology can revolutionize agriculture. Can you explain to us how that works and what makes it exponentially valuable?
Our EndoDynamic AG3 system revolutionizes agriculture because we're able to make the conversion to organic agriculture seamless. We make it simple. It doesn't become a learning curve. We've taken all the difficult processes and we've streamlined it. And plain and simply, rather than losing production, you increase your production. We use frequencies to stimulate microorganisms, which stimulate the growth of the crops. And we use both sound and light frequencies to control and manipulate the dormancy of plants, which means we wake them up and put them to sleep as we choose. And in doing that, we advance significantly the production. The next thing is we're going to revolutionize because you don't need to use pesticides. When you use our AG3 system, built into our mix are a series of enzymes, bacteria, and fungi that are specifically put together and combined to achieve a specific goal, which is a healthy production of all the different fruits and vegetables and everything that's grown in agriculture. In addition to that, we've revolutionized the transportation of goods. We can get goods from A to B at half the price of everyone else. And I think that should explain to you really plain and simply that we have an advantage over the competition. And specifically, as for our AG3, we've outperformed the competition in every study that's been done. And now, after a really, really hard, long look and evaluating the global situation, we've made the determination that we're ready to go to market. And so here we are.
So globally, how large is the dollar value you foresee in the first 5 years, and which industries are top priorities?
Well, Tommy, just using the U.S. market, we anticipate, and I really consider this to be a very, very conservative figure, that in the first 5 years, we're going to probably be somewhere in the $50+ million range as a company. And I think that number could be far greater, especially if we're and when we're successful at bringing in North America and Asia and other markets, specifically Mexico, Costa Rica, where we have letters of intent, and we have our contact going into Asia now. We've been to Africa. Africa is a beautiful place, and it has a lot of promise. However, it has a lot of difficult challenges currently in agriculture. But with that being said, on a global level, they say that it's $1.2 trillion a year industry that will, by 2030, become more than $8 trillion industry. So that's obviously one of the primary reasons we've really taken this dive into agriculture from the businesses that we were in, because we feel that agriculture is the future, not only for food and to feeding the people, but economically we think it brings great promise.
And what real world results have you seen and how are they verified?
We've spent a lot of time and energy with many universities around the world, from Amity University in India to the University of Guadalajara in Mexico to U.S. universities and the professors that run their agronomy departments. And we've tested in all of them. And what we've found is that our system outperforms every system we've ever gone against. Our AG3 is superior. And, it's easy to say that, we're the best, but I really know in my heart that we are the best. We're better than everything that's out there on the market currently. And we have a methodology that nobody else can touch. It's unique.
How does your system outperform chemical fertilizers in cost and also in yield?
This is a really easy question for me to answer, because not only are we half the price, we can deliver a higher volume than chemical fertilizers, and we eliminate the costs of the need for many of the other chemicals like fungicides and herbicides. So our system, AG3, basically cuts the cost in half, doubling and increasing the yield in many cases.
Can EndoDynamics technology clean up contaminated farmland, and how does it do that? Because this could be huge. It could unlock huge markets.
We have a variety of blends that can not only clean up the chemical damaged land, but we can clean up oil spills. And so we've worked really hard at the abatement and the amendment process in order to recapture a lot of the land. I don't know if people don't realize that a third of the farmland over the last 40 years is not farmable. So we don't need to expand and keep expanding. What we need to do is abate and amend the land that's already been damaged. And we can do that within a 3 to 5 year period using our microbial blend. We have specific microorganisms, enzymes, and fungi and bacteria designed to clean up at half the time and at half the price of what currently is being used. Microorganisms are amazing, and they're natural. And just to give you an example, when the BP oil spill hit the Gulf of Mexico, they were worried about the damage to the shellfish and all the bottom feeders, and yet microorganisms saved them. They found that by the time the sediment had hit the bottom, it was amended, and they found the specific bacteria that was able to clean up the oil spill. And so microorganisms are an incredible opportunity. And yes, we can recapture all the land that's been damaged.
So the big questions most investors are going to want to know, Mr. Lopez, is who created this and how is it protected from being copied?
That's a very good question. And I think you'll like the answer. Our CEO is a prominent law firm here in Texas, and they have a IP department where they file trademarks and patents and copyrights and everything else. In addition to that, they have their own accounting and real estate departments, and the lawyer that runs it is our CEO, and so he early on advised me that we would take something like the patent process, which I own patents on the container, and I also have other patents filed, but we would interweave them in a way where we use trademarks, patents, copyrights, and IP together, where it can't be copied. We have strategically aligned our patent process, and we're going to be filing probably 5 patents in the next 12 months. But what we've done is to take multiple technologies, combine them together, but interweave them with trademarks and what have you, in order to secure and also to avoid someone not only copying but robbing us of our technologies.
And what is EndoDynamic's fundraising strategy?
We currently are negotiating with several funds, equity funds and hedge funds and what have you. And we've self-financed this up to this point. And we're talking several $1 million of investment out of pocket for our partnership. But in the big picture, we believe that crypto holds the future of finance, and we believe specifically agriculture and crypto belong together. It's so hard to get funded as a farmer, especially around the world, but even in the U.S., you have to lean your family's, 5th generation farm in order to stay alive, and we want to change that, and we believe that change is here. So cryptocurrency holds that promise, and I don't want to get too far into crypto. I'm not a crypto expert, but I will say this: we have methods that we're pursuing now, and so we are looking at tokenization as well as coins and what have you, and we are really, really interested in the promise that crypto brings.
So when would EndoDynamic launch commercially, and when can investors engage?
Commercial launches now. We're actually have met with European investors and master distributors. We have our contacts currently headed into Asia. We have our contacts, and we have letters of intent from Africa to Mexico, and we have relationships with Canada. So commercially speaking, we look to deliver our bulk material, for next season, 2026. But we're actually negotiating those contracts as we speak. As far as financial opportunities for investors, we have not yet and are not making an offer to invest, but we will be very soon.
Also, how will you bring this technology into areas facing hunger crisis? And do you guys plan on owning production or outsourcing the blend?
We spent a couple of years in Africa working with the churches there, a variety of churches, different religions and what have you, and understanding how farming is done there. We've already provided a significant amount of product for free at our cost, And so we are totally vested in doing good for the world. But we subscribe to the theory that I can feed you fish today, or I can teach you to fish and feed you for a lifetime. And that's what we want to do with our AG3, is teach people to grow and how to. And this is a really simple aspect of it. How do you capture the morning dew in Africa, which is 70% of the required hydration needed by the crops? You use our AG3. That's how you do it. And so many places around the world suffer the same challenges that Africa has. They don't have an abundant source of water to feed the crops, and so we bring that solution. And in addition to that, as far as distribution around the world, we're looking to align ourselves with master distributors as blenders. The concentration that we create will always be done here. Nobody else will ever have they'll never ever have their hands on our product and the recipe. We'll send the concentrated material to blending facilities globally, and then we will mass distribute from those hubs to the regions. And so, with that being said, Tommy, we've spent a lot of time and energy and money. We've really worked hard to take a master plan look at the challenges, and we've brought a master plan answer, and that's AG3, and that's EndoDynamic. And so I really appreciate your time, the chance to talk about our company, and I'm looking forward to the future questions that come.
Thank you for your time and sharing your insights with us today.